Hey, I want to talk to you guys about something that it's really important to me in my life. You know how when we wake up, very easy to get overwhelmed right away. Nothing has even happened yet. And we've got like the weight of all these accomplishments that we want to try to get through that have like been on our list for a month. And then like zero energy to match our expectations because we just woke up, which makes us feel worse because then we're like, how am I going to lift that mountain? I can't even lift my leg. How am I supposed to lift that friggin' mountain? And this is a very personal thing for me because I kind of been struggling with this for like 10 years. It's gotten a lot better in general, but it's still the hardest part of my day. Too much of my life is being spent in that state, not doing the things I want and not feeling okay with the way I feel. It really would be nice to move through that state just a little faster and get to the fun part, because when I go to bed, I am so excited I can't even sleep recently. But then I wake up and I don't want to get up and do all the things that I was so excited about thinking about. One of the things that I find really helpful in the morning when we have that tug against I don't want to get up, ease into a state of mind that feels easy just for like 20 seconds, and giving ourselves this really small window where there's no pressure, but being super intentional about it. Like noticing that we're starting to get overwhelmed and saying, okay, so that's what I've been doing for the past how many years. And then today I'm going to get overwhelmed in 20 seconds, but just not yet. And that a little tiny bit of, I guess, willpower to push through that tendency, right? Because our brain is just so used to doing the thing, it's just like whoosh, automatically, because we've created those neural pathways in our brain. It's just like we wake up, we have that association with waking up, boom, we're in that state. So to break that pattern, to break any kind of like thought habit, it's going to take some amount of like intentionality. I don't want to say pressure or force, but just like a little bit of strong intention to do that. But once then you go, okay, I just love the feeling of my pillow, and get into that sensation of how the pillow feels good, and then suddenly you're in this state of ease. And then through that, talking myself into like noticing how my nervous system feels when I'm in that state of ease. And then we can do this. So that's kind of like morning mood mastery or whatever, like how to start the day, how to get out of bed, and without jumping into that hamster wheel of overwhelm and going through motions that we're not really on board with, because we're always hating ourselves while we do that. We're like, ugh. And then then that creates like this quality of shame that we just have to deal with during the day. Like, So interrupt that pattern. It does take effort, but intentionally thinking about something that is going to create a state of ease. I'm taking care of a beautiful cat, and she jumped on my bed for the first time. She's this really wild cat. And she jumped on my bed, and it reminded me of my cat back home, Mango, and how I used to just feel like my nervous system would just melt, and I took advantage of that. And I was just like, I noticed how happy I was getting and how at ease I was. I'm like, damn, why is it so easy with a cat? Seriously, get a cat. So easy with cats. Just delay the normal operations of how we're going about our day, which is like, gotta do this, gotta do that, I'm sort of stressed out, I feel kind of bad. Like, okay, we're gonna do that. But interrupt that pattern, like on purpose. One of the things that I do is I set, and I learned this from my coach, is I set a timer on my phone for every hour this thing is gonna ring. Let's see if I have my alarms on. It's set to go off every hour. So when it goes off, I've got the right song on it. When it goes off, it reminds me to drop everything I'm doing for 20 seconds. I mean, obviously, I'm driving or in the middle of a conversation or something, that I can't do that, obviously. But as soon as possible, like, be strict about it. And then what you do is, so that you don't have to think, oh my God, what's that thing that I want to think about to feel like at ease? No, don't worry about that. I tried that like for 4 months and it's a lot of work. All you do, this is nuts and bolts stuff, you guys. Make yourself a new note and you write the thing that you want to say to yourself, whatever it is for you. And it has to be an affirmation that you kind of somewhat are on board with. Otherwise, your subconscious will be like, girlfriend, you are not the boss of your life. So something that you kind of, like, you're not going to fight yourself with because it won't work. Something that you're close to, but it's a reach. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And so one way is to think about something that is going to put us into a state of ease before that the momentum of overwhelmment takes over. So that's really good. I've had a lot of direct benefit from that. You can just start that today, like day one, starting with that. 20 seconds. Think about the easiest thing you have no resistance to. Often it's just the feeling of the pillow, the sheet, an animal near you, anything like that. Something simple. It's not like, oh, that time that I went to the beach and I was just like so happy and on vacation. No, that's way too much work. Besides, that might stir up this sensation of lack because you're not at a beach and you have to go to work. Nothing complicated like that. Or, oh, I really appreciate my friends. They're totally there for me. That might make you think of some friends who aren't, or that you don't have them right here with. Like, no, just easy right now, right here. Nothing that can wake up that sense of lack or sense of I don't have enough or I'm not good enough. Just the pillow, the cat, the blanket, the feel of the sheet, the fact that you have 5 minutes totally to yourself where nothing matters, nothing has to get done. And you're in this bubble of like, nothing has to get done. Total permission slip to be like a cat and just exist and be awesome just for the fact that you exist. You have a conscious awareness, you exist, you have a body. That's it. Boom. That's all you need. Okay, so that's one. And then crawling out of bed and letting yourself just fall onto the floor. That I've done this morning, actually. And do that too sometimes. Now, the third thing I want to suggest is in the morning, because we're in a transition state, going from one state of mind to a whole new state of reality, dream state to waking state. For some people, it's a jarring experience. It's just that shifting from one state of mind to another. And I don't know, maybe it reminds us of dying or being born or something. I don't know. But for me, this is what I've noticed just over the past few days, that I think that's what's going on. I'm not good with transitions, even changing, like traveling. That momentum to get up and go and make that initial shift is so hard. And then once I get going, it's really fun. That feels like something you might be dealing with. Just like transitions are challenging and stir up this sense of unease. Then my suggestion for you is, first of all, there's an incredible amount of release just knowing that, because now there's nothing wrong with you, right? I mean, there wasn't anyway, but so if it's just that simple, then haha, we're having a hard time with transitions. And my shirt is too funny. So having trouble with transition, when the alarm goes off, you can be aware that, okay, I'm going to take it easy right now because I'm going to transition into a new state of mind, and have already on your phone a nice song for you, something that is very relaxing and nurturing and like makes you feel like a baby or something. It doesn't have to be anything like super motivating to get you revved up for the day. Like, that's awesome too. Something that'll help you be it from the dreamy, slow, non-physical state. Well, it's actually not slow, it's very fast, because our thoughts create the things and it's all very, very fast, to this now slow physical reality. Something that can help you bridge that, and you can play around with different songs. That's my suggestion for if you have trouble with transitions. And then go into as you're listening to that song, go into the thing of like easing into a thought that puts you into a feeling of ease, like being okay with your pillow. So that's 2. And then 3 is acknowledging what wants to come up. So basically you're trying to release resistance. So for some of us, there's a lot of self-criticism that comes with basically when anything doesn't feel right. So if waking up doesn't feel right, there's going to be like this piggyback of self-criticism and judgment. Some people were just really not allowed to have feelings. Like, it wasn't okay to feel what you felt. So if that's a situation with you, then what you want to do, light, it's kind of like, woo, a halo for me, is to acknowledge and ask yourself, what is trying to come up right now? What in me wants to be acknowledged? And then be with that feeling. Because funniest things will come out. Like, ask that question really, really honestly, and ask yourself over and over, what in me wants to be acknowledged right now? And you might find that deep down inside, you've been carrying this upset about something that is just like messing with your head, like subconsciously all the time, all day. Just really, really ask yourself that question. What wants to be acknowledged? It feels so good to ask that question. I've had great breakthroughs, like totally game-changing breakthroughs by asking that question in the morning. Like, seriously, game-changing breakthroughs that like led to me being where I am on this adventure just from that question. What wants to be acknowledged by me, by my consciousness right now? And I was like, bam, yeah, I'm upset about that. Bam, yeah, this isn't good. And allowing myself to not be okay, to like be not okay is okay. So I hope that's helpful. Those are 3 suggestions, a lot packed into this. Do it again. I wish you a wonderful, magical day. Okay, guys.